A team is not a team if you don't give a damn about one another.
You going number one or number two?
Trust Dad.
Ma, I gotta go.
What does it take to turn 5 uncontrollable characters into one unbeatable team?
Even with my help, it will be difficult, if not nearly impossible, to defeat a team from Korea.
I'm afraid. You need this fight bad. You need this fight for you, man.
I'm here to teach you how to win. Winning isn't a sometime thing. Winning is an all-time thing.
This is the only thing I know I am good at. Don't take that away from me.
You can work. You can sweat. You can train. You can dream and never be better than good. But when the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Someone who knows, someone who wants to win. Only the strong will survive. Reach for the best you have within. There is no compromise. You have to stand up and fight when the challenge is right. Through the tears and the pain, still the glory remains. You see the vision in sight. Put yourself to the test. Be the best of the best.
I'm gonna take your head off.
And welcome everyone to Bullets,
Bourbon,
and Karate, and this week's episode is...
best of the best.
Yeah. When I was a child, Marcus, there were few things, as we spoke about, that were more important to me than straight-to-video martial arts movies. And that included movies that showed up on HBO, Cinemax, and for a time, my 5th grade year of my life, I was homeschooled. And when
Really?
I was,
Okay.
I was. And when I was, I don't know why, but there was a cycle on cable that played Best of the Best pretty much every day. And boy, did I love it.
As you should.
Do you love this movie?
We talked about it, but let's tell the audience, yes.
Yes.
I loved it when I was a kid,
Yes.
and I still love it. I still love it.
And apparently, no one else likes it.
I tell you, Ebert didn't. We'll go to the reviews later, but
yeah.
Ebert, man, he had nothing but bad things to say
He
about
tore
this
it
thing.
apart. And
He
in
did.
fact, Eric Roberts talks about the only reason he did the sequel because he wanted to do a better movie than the first one. And
Yeah.
I don't think the second one's better than the first one at all.
No.
I don't know. Man, as a kid, you couldn't tell me this movie wasn't as good, if not better, than Rocky. If I knew more about the Oscars as a child, I would have assumed that it was nominated for Best Picture. You know,
Right.
But
I think any movie as kids that you and I watched, we probably thought were Oscar. If we knew about the Oscars, they were at the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly.
Toxic
Yeah.
Avenger, it was there. Tango and Cash, they were first row, just waiting for their Oscar.
That's right. Stallone and Russell just sitting there with their feathered hair,
Yep.
just holding out, just waiting to see what's going on. There's just nothing about this movie that I didn't like. I thought the performances were fantastic. And as we spoke about, and we'll talk about on this, there were a few, wait a second moments in terms of, logic.
Sure.
I don't give a shit.
No.
No.
There's rough editing, stuff like that, but
Yes.
yeah, man, keep it moving. I like it. I like what we're doing a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
Kinda,
you give me a simple premise that involves people fighting, I'm down.
yeah, easily. Yeah.
And I think this movie delivers it in spades. And so let's hop right in before we start talking too much about this wonderful piece of film. We'll talk about who we are. I'm Adam Archer.
I'm Mark Hall.
And this is Bullets, Bourbon, and Karate. And we are on social media, believe it or not. And we are on Instagram at BB Karate Podcast. I always do that. We're on Instagram and Twitter at BB Karate Podcast. That is also our Gmail at BB Karate Podcast at gmail.com. And where else are we, Marcus?
They can find us on Facebook as well at Bullets, Bourbon, and Karate.
And all of those take a distant second place to what we care about the most is rates and review.
Yeah.
Rates and review.
That's all that matters. That's why we're out there shaking our ass every week, Adam.
That's
for
right.
Rates
We're out
and
there.
reviews.
We're giving squeezers behind the movie theater, and we're ready. It's the easiest thing to do. It takes 2 seconds. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to log in to create an account. You're just on iTunes. Just give it a little 5-star like.
That's all you got to do. You could be doing anything, and just take a second or two out and just hit that star. 4 stars, 5 stars, please. It makes us feel better about ourselves and not just want to dismiss what we've done in the past 38 years of our lives.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because like we've said before, we would have if Marcus and I just decided to meet up every week and talk about a movie we watched, this is what it would be. We're just choosing to record it. I mean,
That's it, pretty much, yeah.
Talk like this anyway. Let's just put it out there, because I know there's a group of people, especially from our age demo, that's just like, they had the same childhood.
Right.
They were waiting to see Philip Ree and Eric Roberts go up there and accept Best Picture nomination, you know?
Yeah. There's others out there like you, just you don't know where to find your people at, and we're right here.
We are here. We have the red carpet waiting for you. We are wanting to give the red carpet treatment to all those movies you grew up on that you thought were just so fantastic. Because we do too.
We do. And as you'll hear with the movies that we've done already, I think this is like our 20th, maybe.
Is this the 20th?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, baby, and it's a good one to have the 20th on, man.
It is. When we were discussing movies to do, we had, I don't want to say a rough month, but we kind of got out of our comfort zone of hardcore action and kind of what this podcast is built around. Fun movies that we did with the movie action month, or video game movie to movie action month. But we wanted to get into the heart and soul of it, and we think Best of the Best fits that perfectly. Back
to the sweet spot. You know, sometimes we step out of what we do, and it works out. Like, I really enjoyed talking about Tremors. I thought that was a really fun outside-the-box episode. And then we go back to, like, I would say even Over the Top.
Yeah.
Is borderline an action movie. The action is pretty stale, but... and then we do things like, okay, this will be our bread and butter, and we do a movie like Deadly Prey, and you're like, whew, that's tough. But then, every now and then we get to do Perfect Weapon. We get to do Best of the Best, and it makes it all worth it.
And Adam, what's our podcast name again? Who are we?
We are Bullets, Bourbon, and Karate.
That's right. And every week, we like to pair a drink with a movie. And when we were talking about this, we I think our first go-to is let's just do a beer. And we think about, and it almost could be.
It could be. I mean, we have every aspect of the American working man.
You do.
You know?
From the intro to the outro. I mean,
that's right. You just got Eric Roberts working at his Pontiac Firebird factory. Yeah. And you have all walks of life coming in, and one of the big, really fun fight scenes takes place in a bar, and it's a Budweiser bar. You know what I'm saying? But we went a different way. Where would we go, Marcus?
We did. We went a little east meets west.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Korean version of the Moscow Mule, we went with the Korean Mule. It's a drink that we found online, easy to make, very simple to make.
Yep.
All you need is some ginger beer, some soju, which you can find at pretty much any bigger alcohol liquor store.
A Korean vodka is what that is.
Yeah, pretty much a Korean vodka and some lime juice, and you got yourself a Korean Mule.
You're good to go. And I kind of feel like, because we're sipping on it now, we've already had our first sips, and I love a Mule. I think it's just about the most perfect summer drink you can ask for.
I'm not a fan
Ooh.
of any, just because I'm not I'll drink this, but I'm just not a fan of ginger beer at all.
Oh, interesting.
Or ginger at all. Any ginger. I'm not a fan of ginger.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I think it was some ancient Asian medicine that I read that people used to make balls of ginger infused with other, like, herbs and stuff, and they would put it in the belly button of men to give them extra virility.
I will make sure that the next time Megan and I are in that position that she stuffs my navel full of ginger balls.
Ginger balls. I certainly don't have any history with the Moscow Mule, or with the Korean Mule. I think the Moscow Mule is, of course, the most famous.
Yeah.
But I've never had a Korean vodka. And
Neither have I. No.
I've had it. I'm about to sip it for the first time. I've had it. We've been sipping on these mules, and like I said, I'm a big fan. I think I don't do a lot of ginger beer. I mainly do the vodka and lime.
Yeah.
But ginger beer, I think if you get a really nice one, I can enjoy it a bit more, because there are just some really sugary, just like, yeah, it's ginger beer. But then you can get like some really like chunks of ginger floating in it. That's my shit. Let's see here. Here's my first taste of Korean vodka.
Okay.
Tastes like vodka.
Does.
Oh, it tastes a little less vodka-y than regular vodka. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you notice how there's like a little burn on the tongue, like on the tip of the tongue from it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a harsh burn or anything, or like even an alcohol. It's like something that's in this, like an ingredient in the soju.
Yeah.
That's causing that little tingle too. Yeah.
Now, what is their vodka? What is the soju made with? Like, there's potato vodka. You know, there's things like that. What is this one? Do you know?
I am not sure. I mean, I guess I could do a hard look real quick.
Let's just do a hard look real quick, because I'm interested.
I'm going to use the internet here.
Okay, he's going to log into Google. Use his Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Can you use my Wi-Fi? Let's just see. So soju was made from a blend of rice and grains. From the 1960s to the 1990s, using rice was banned in soju production because it was in such short supply. So sojus were made with other starches like sweet potatoes and wheat. So during that 30-year period, you had a little sweet potato soju.
I tell you what, if you can get one of those bottles from that period, I bet it's collectible.
Look at it. So that's all we think about now is like, how
give me
a bottle.
Man, if I can get a 1995 soju, I bet that'd be... Yeah. So, I mean, Marcus doesn't like the mules. I find this drink endlessly refreshing. We full disclosure, my girlfriend, Marcus, and the Creep Street crew over at Creep Street Podcast went out last night, and we did it up. We probably spent about $1,000 going from place to place. We had some deep dish Chicago pizza, then we walked around, went to a Mexican restaurant, sat outdoors.
Beautiful night. Yeah, great.
Mariachi band playing Weezer tunes.
Yeah, and the Desperado song, too.
Yeah, Desperado. Oh, God, I can't wait to do that movie. So, we had a great night, and getting a little hair of the dog here on the next morning. Yeah,
I will say that no matter if I don't like the taste, it's still refreshing, if that makes sense to me.
Yeah, sure.
Or to you. It makes sense to me. But it's very, like you said, hair of the dog, and it's ice cold. I have it in my copper mug for the Mule. We have some, so it makes it even better when it's that really, really chilled, too. And it tastes refreshing right now.
So that's what we're drinking. If you watch this movie and you want to let us know what you would pair with it, or if you have any, like, best of the best memories, like, hit us up. Because I just have some very vivid and, like, I can just picture sitting on my linoleum floor, our kitchen connected to our living room, the way we had it set up.
Yeah.
And I would just sit on that linoleum floor and watch, instead of doing my at-home 5th grade assignments, I would just watch Philip Rhee look like a badass.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, was that like your first memory of watching it? Do you remember that?
Let's get into our memories of Best of the Best. I don't know. I certainly don't have a first memory. I have vivid memories of watching it several times, as I said. You know, HBO or Cinemax, whatever it was showing on in the... Because this movie came out in 89, and I know I didn't see it then. I certainly didn't see it in theaters, and not a lot of people did, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I know by the time I was watching it, when I was probably 9 or 10,